Hi everyone! In this video we are going to talk about something that can really make your wedding tables look special – napkin folding. I'm particularly in love with this idea because it's such a simple way to add elegance to your reception without spending a lot of money. You know, when I was planning our wedding, I wanted our tables to look beautiful, but our budget was limited for fancy decorations. That's when I discovered that napkin folding can completely transform how your table settings looks. It's, like jewelry for your tables, small details that make everything feel more sophisticated. But before we dive into the folding techniques, let me share two crucial tips that will make all the difference. First, please don't use paper napkins. They always look cheap, no matter how you fold them. Invest in textile napkins instead. Even if they're, simple cotton ones, believe me, the difference is night and day. Second, and this is so important, always make sure your napkins are properly ironed before you start folding. This small detail completely changes the whole impression. When you get these basics right, the impact is incredible, and your guests will immediately notice the attention to detail, and it sets the tone for the entire dining experience. Today, I'm going to show you several different napkin folding styles that work perfectly for weddings. Some are very simple and quick to do, others are more detailed for special occasions. All of them will make your guests feel like they're dining somewhere really special. So let's start folding and see how these beautiful techniques can elevate your wedding tables. Let's start with one of my favorite folds, the pocket fold. I personally think this is perfect for weddings because it's elegant but also very practical. Your guests can use the pocket to hold their dinner menu, a small flower, or even a personal note from you. So now I'm going to show you exactly how to do this fold step by step. First, take your napkin and lay it flat in front of you. Make sure it's completely smooth. Wrinkles will show in the final result. Fold the napkin in half by bringing the bottom edge up to the top edge. Now take the top layer of the top edge down to the bottom edge. Then comes the important part. Flip the napkin over while keeping those folds in place. Take the edge on the left and fold it 3 times towards the right edge. 1, 2, 3, and you have a beautiful pocket fold. The pocket is perfect for holding cutlery, a single steam flower, or menu card, or a small thank you note. This next fold is the rose fold. It looks much more complicated than it actually is, but nevertheless might require some practice, and you'll understand in a minute why. Let me walk you through the beautiful fold. Start with your napkin laid flat and completely smooth, placing it back side up. Fold it in half diagonally to make a triangle. Starting from the wide edge, begin rolling the napkin tightly towards the point. Keep the roll as tight as possible. This is what creates the rose shape. When you reach about 2 inches or thicker 5 centimeters from the point, stop rolling. Now comes the fun and the trickiest part. Take the one edge of the rolled napkin and start wrapping it around itself to form the center of the rose. When you've wrapped about 3/4 of the roll, Try to tuck the remaining end underneath the rose to secure it. This is sometimes tricky, because you might not have enough length to do it. In this case, just try wrapping it again while adjusting the tightness. The final step is to take the pointed end we left unwrapped and wrap it around the base of the rose. Now you have a beautiful napkin rose. In general, I believe this fold can create a romantic touch for many wedding tables. But what I don't like about this fold is that your napkin looks really wrinkled once you unfold it. Now let me show you a fold that's perfect if you want something elegant but don't have a lot of time for complicated techniques. This candle fold is quick to do but looks really sophisticated on wedding tables. Start with your napkin completely flat and smooth, back side facing up. This fold works best with closed napkins that have a little bit of stiffness to them. Fold the napkin in half diagonally to create a triangle with the point facing up. Take the right corner of the triangle and roll it towards the center point. Do the same with the left corner, rolling it towards the center so you have a shape that looks like a cone or candle. The trick to making this look really good is keeping the rolls tight and even. If one side is looser than the other, the napkin won't stand up properly. Once both sides are rolled to the center, you should have a shape that can stand upright on the plate. You can adjust the rolls slightly to make sure it stands straight and looks symmetrical. This fold works really well when you want to add height to your place settings without using tall centerpieces. The candle fold can look really beautiful with low floral arrangements. This bow tie fold is something I discovered while practicing different techniques, and I think it's perfect for more formal wedding receptions. It adds a playful but elegant touch that guests always notice. Let me show you how to create this beautiful fold. Start with your napkin laid flat with the back side facing up. Fold it in half lengthwise, then fold it in half again so you have a long, narrow rectangle. Find the center point of this rectangle and pinch it together, gathering the fabric like you are making a bow. Hold this center point tightly while you work on the next steps. Take a napkin ring, a piece of ribbon, or even a small rubber band and wrap it around the center point, where you are pinching the fabric. This creates the center of your bow tie. Make sure it's tight enough to hold the shape, but not so tight that it damages the fabric. Now comes the styling part. Gently pull and adjust the bow sections on either side to make them look full and symmetrical. You can make the bow more full by pulling the fabric outward or keep it more compact for a neater look. I think it looks particularly beautiful when placed at an angle rather than perfectly straight. This lotus flower fold is probably the most impressive looking fold I'm going to show you today. I personally think it's perfect for special occasions because it creates such a stunning visual impact on your tables. This fold does take a little practice, so don't worry if it doesn't look perfect the first time. Again, start with your napkin completely flat and smooth. Fold all 4 corners into the center point, creating a small square. Now fold all 4 corners of this new square into the center point again. You should have an even smaller square now. Flip the entire napkin over while keeping all those folds in place. Once again, fold all 4 corners into the center point. You now have a very small, thick square with lots of layers. This is where the magic happens. Carefully reach underneath and pull out the points that are hidden under each corner. Pull these points up and outward to create the petals of your lotus flower. Walk around all 4 corners, gently coaxing the fabric into petal shapes. The layers you created with all that folding will naturally form beautiful dimensional petals. This already looks pretty good, and we could leave it as it is, but I suggest we do one more round of petals to complete the look. The final step is adjusting the petals to make them look natural and full. Some petals can be more open, others more closed, just like a real flower. You could also put something small inside. This will help to keep the fold secure and can hide the middle of the flower if your petals aren't perfectly centered. This fold takes longer than the others, so I would suggest using it only for special tables like the head table or parents' tables. But the effect is absolutely stunning, and I'm sure your guest will be so impressed. Now, let me show you a fold that's both beautiful and practical. The diamond fold that can hold your menu cards. Start with a square napkin. Lay it flat on a table, seam side down if it's close. Fold in half, top to bottom, and you'll now have a rectangle. Fold in half again, left to right. This makes a smaller square. Rotate so the open corners are pointing up. Think of it like a diamond shape in front of you. Fold the top layer corner down to the bottom point, press flat. Then fold the next layer, but stop a bit above the first layer so you see the edge. And then repeat with the third layer. You'll now see a stepped pocket effect. Flip the napkin over carefully and keep the folds aligned. Fold the left and right corners inward so the shape becomes a neat diamond. Flip back to the front and you now have a diamond fold with layered pockets. The beautiful thing about this fold is that you now have a pocket where you can insert menu cards, table numbers, or even small flowers. This fold works particularly well for formal dinner receptions, where you want to provide detailed menu information but don't want extra items cluttering the table. This crown fold is something I'm not particularly in love with because for me it feels a bit of old school. In addition, it's a bit more complex to make, but I'll show you how to make it in case you like it and it fits your wedding style. Okay, so let me guide you through this step by step. Start with your napkin flat, seam side up, and fold it in half to create a rectangle. The fold should be at the bottom with the open edges at the top. Take the top right corner and fold it down diagonally towards the center, creating a triangle shape. Do the same with the bottom left corner, folding it up diagonally to meet in the middle. Flip the napkin over while keeping these folds in place. Take the bottom edge and fold it up. Leave this point sticking out, and then take this layer that is underneath and just allow that to fold out. Then unfold the right point all the way up. Take the left point and fold it to the right. Now take the top corner and fold it down. Flip the napkin over again. Take the right corner, fold it to the left and tuck it inside the left part. Stand the crown upright on the dinner plate or table. It should balance on its own if the folds are tight enough. You can use the space inside for a flower or small guest favor. The fan fold is perfect for creating movement and elegance on your wedding tables. This fold is actually quite simple but looks very sophisticated. Start with your napkin completely flat and smooth. Beginning from one edge, start making accordion-style pleats across the entire napkin. The key to a beautiful fan fold is keeping your pleats even and consistent. Take your time with this step because uneven pleats will make the final result look messy. Press down on each pleat as you make it to create sharp, clean lines. Once you've pleated the entire napkin, hold all the pleats together at the bottom and gently fan out the top section. You can make a full semicircle fan or keep it more compact depending on your table space. You can place the napkin in the napkin ring, tie it with a piece of ribbon that matches your wedding colors, or even tuck it into a wine glass for a different presentation style. This fold is also great because it's quite quick to do in large quantities. If you have a lot of tables, you can teach your wedding party or family members to help with the folding ahead of time. I hope these napkin folding ideas inspire you to add some special touches to your wedding tables. As you can see, napkin folding is such a simple way to make your reception feel more elegant and thoughtful without spending a lot of money. The most important thing is to choose folds that match your wedding style and that you feel comfortable executing. Always practice on exactly the same napkin that you will be using for your celebration, because the fabric of the napkin as well as its size might also dictate the choice of the fold. In general, even the simplest fold, when done well, can make your tables look beautiful and show your guests that you cared about every detail of their experience. Remember that these small touches are what guests remember and talk about after your wedding. They show thoughtfulness and attention to detail that makes everyone feel special and appreciated. If you found these napkin folding techniques helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more wedding planning ideas. And I would love to see your napkin folding creations. Tag me on Instagram when you practice these techniques. Until next time, happy folding and happy planning!